What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode, Plant Marks the Pot, with me, Brandon. And today we're talking about another tropical house plant, the birds of paradise. Birds of paradise are, in my opinion, on the top 10 of the list of best tropical house plants. And here's the reason why. But before I get into that, I want to tell you a story about this plant and kind of our ups and downs, because this one, it's actually my first house plant. I got it years ago. I bought it at a Walmart. It was one of probably 10 or 15 plants in the nursery. And when I saw them, I was just like, I gotta at least grab one. But which one? So I was really indecisive. I looked at probably the same top 5 in there for more than I needed to. And I narrowed it down to 3, and I eventually picked one and got out of there. But from there, it was, fast growing. Some people say these are moderate growers, but it was popping new leaves up every other week, and it was just doing its thing. And then I had this roommate at the time that was like, at first cool with house plants and then not cool with house plants. And so eventually she was like, you need to do something with that big one. And that big one was this one right here. And so since she was in charge of like the lease and all that, I was like, okay, fine. So I put it out in the patio, and it's middle of the summer, and the thing was like burning up instantly. It just hated where it was at. It wasn't even bright or sunny out there. It just started cooking, and the leaves were scorching, and it was in a way, I kind of did it spitefully, but it was like to mess up my own stuff. It was weird how it worked. But so this thing was just riding the struggle bus. From then on out, I lost probably half the leaves. I'm cutting them off every other week, and somehow it just rebounded slowly. It took about a year and a half for it to like stabilize and then start putting on new growth again. And so I've had this for at least 6 years, and that's what I'm here to relay, is what I did to kind of get it to bounce back, because I hear a lot of ups and downs with people and their birds of paradise and all these horror stories and what they did wrong, and I'm here to talk about how to correct it. So they're a tropical plant, first and foremost. They're from South Africa. They're Madagascar. They've kind of migrated to Hawaii, and they are now able to be largely found in Florida and Los Angeles. It's actually the flower of the city of Los Angeles officially. So beloved house plant, beloved plant in general. So they're gonna like that tropical environment. You hear me saying this over and over, but they're gonna like tons of humidity. They're gonna like to stay on the wet side. I talked about the pebble tray the last time as far as humidities go, but find a way to get it lots of humidity, and as well as don't let it completely dry out. It will not like that. So keep it regular, consistent waterings, but allow it to dry out some, 1 to 2 inches before you hit it with that next watering. And this plant will do great. As far as light goes, it's going to want a ton of light. It can take full sun, but you kind of got to ease it in there. That's the takeaway from that story, is that, so what you can do is put a cloth over it, or, like to shade the sun, and slowly over the course of days or weeks, lift that cloth until it's now getting full sun. However, I wouldn't give this full sun. I would give it bright indirect light, just to stay on the safe side, because for me, I get full south rays, and it can just cook and cook in our hot summers. So also, the setup here, light wise, I'm about 10, 15 feet away from south facing Florida ceiling windows. And so you could imagine it's probably not getting the most light back here. So I'm supplementing it with a fluorescent lamp right behind it, you might not be able to see, but it's almost touching the leaves. It's right there. And that's the reason why you're seeing this new growth. You know, this one just popped up on me 2 weeks ago, and it's the middle of December. It's the end of December, and we got another guy coming in strong back here because I'm finding a way to add that supplemental light. So what you can do is something like that if you're not getting the light that you need. Real quick, drop in the comments. Let me know what you're drinking on. Right now I'm having this. This is a yerba mate, matter of fact, from my local purveyor of loose leaf teas for those out there who like a good tea. But let me know what you're drinking in the comment. Love to know, or where you're texting in from, and glad to have you here. But back to the bird here. It is a heavy feeder, so in the spring, summer, definitely hit it. I use a slow release granular fertilizer, the Osmocote. That's my brand. I'm a big proponent of that. That's what I push on everybody. I would go with something similar if that's not what you can get. Or I learned from a lady who used to maintain office building plants. She uses the Jax 20-20-20, which is great for those heavy feeding plants. I wouldn't use that on everything. I would use that on things that are real big eaters and that need a ton of plant nutrients. So that is mostly what I got for this one right here. I mean, it's an awesome plant. I've had it for forever. It's fairly easy in my opinion as far as care. It's just all about the right type of watering, the right type of light. Make sure you got good humidity and you're good to go. So that's once again another episode with me, Brandon. Hit the like button, subscribe. I want to see you on the next video, and thanks for checking out Plant Marks the Pot.